Hello, and welcome back to Yellow September channel, where we focus on hope, healing, and mental health awareness. Today, we're diving into a very important topic: the myths about suicide. Understanding the truth behind these myths can help save lives. So let's break down some of the most common misconceptions. Myth number 1. People who talk about suicide won't really do it. Many believe that when someone talks about suicide, they are just seeking attention and won't follow through. However, research shows that talking about suicide can be a sign of deep distress. When someone shares thoughts like these, it's a cry for help, and taking it seriously can save a life. Listen carefully, show empathy, and encourage them to seek professional support. Myth number 2. Once someone is suicidal, they'll always feel that way. Suicidal thoughts often arise during periods of intense emotional pain, but they are not permanent. People can recover and lead fulfilling lives after going through such crises. It's crucial to remind those who are struggling that these feelings don't last forever and that support, therapy, and time can help them find hope again. Myth number 3. Talking about suicide will put the idea in someone's head. Many fear that discussing suicide will make someone more likely to consider it, but the opposite is true. Openly talking about suicide in a compassionate way reduces stigma and helps those suffering realize they aren't alone. Conversations about mental health can offer people an opportunity to share their feelings and seek help before the situation worsens. Myth number 4. People who attempt suicide are just looking for attention. Labeling a suicide attempt as attention-seeking diminishes the real pain someone is experiencing. Suicide is often a desperate act of someone overwhelmed by emotional turmoil. Instead of dismissing their feelings, it's essential to respond with care, understanding, and support. Offering attention and concern can be the lifeline they need to seek help. Myth number 5. Only people with a diagnosed mental illness are suicidal. While mental illness is a significant factor, suicide can affect people who haven't been diagnosed with a mental health condition. Major life stressors like the loss of a loved one, relationship issues, or financial problems can trigger feelings of hopelessness. It's important to stay alert to warning signs in everyone, regardless of whether they have a formal diagnosis. Before we continue, I just want to remind you to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Your support helps spread this important message to more people, and it might just reach someone who needs it the most. Myth number 6. Only teenagers and young people are at risk of suicide. Although suicide is often associated with youth, older adults and the elderly are also at risk. Depression and isolation are common among older populations, yet their struggles are often overlooked. Ensuring mental health care and support are available for people of all ages is essential in preventing suicide in these populations. Myth number 7. If someone is determined to end their life, nothing can stop them. This is a particularly dangerous myth because it suggests that suicide is inevitable, but that's not the case. Many people contemplating suicide are conflicted, and timely intervention can make a huge difference. Offering emotional support, connecting them to resources, and showing that there are alternatives can save lives, even for those who seem determined. Myth number 8. People who survive a suicide attempt are no longer at risk. Surviving a suicide attempt doesn't automatically mean the risk is over. In fact, the period following an attempt can be critical, as emotional and psychological recovery takes time. Continuous support and professional care are essential for helping individuals rebuild their lives and prevent future attempts. Myth number 9. Most suicides happen suddenly, without warning. Contrary to popular belief, many suicides are preceded by warning signs. People may exhibit changes in behavior, mood, or habits, or even directly express feelings of hopelessness or being a burden. Recognizing these signs early and offering help can make a critical difference in preventing suicide. Myth number 10. Improvement after a suicidal crisis means the risk is over. Often, people seem to feel better just before an attempt because they've made a decision, not because their pain has resolved. This sense of relief can be misleading, making it appear that they are no longer at risk. Continuous care and monitoring are necessary even after someone seems to have improved, as the underlying issues may still be present. Myth number 11. Only professionals can help someone who is suicidal. While professional help is crucial, the role of friends, family, and the community is just as important. A person in crisis often needs to feel understood, supported, and connected. Simple acts of kindness, active listening, and encouragement to seek professional help can provide the lifeline they need. You don't have to be an expert to make a difference. Myth number 12. Suicidal people are weak or selfish. This misconception stigmatizes those who are suffering. People contemplating suicide are often struggling with unbearable pain, not selfishness or weakness. Many feel like a burden to others and believe that taking their own life is a selfless act. Breaking this myth and showing compassion can help someone understand that they are not alone and their life is worth fighting for. Myth number 13. Self-harm is a failed suicide attempt. Self-harm, such as cutting or burning, is often a coping mechanism for emotional pain rather than an attempt to end one's life. While it can increase the risk of suicide, self-harm is usually about managing overwhelming feelings. It's important to recognize this behavior as a sign of distress and offer help, rather than assume it's a direct step toward suicide. It's so important to spread awareness about these myths. They can keep people from getting the help they need. So, if you found this video helpful, leave a comment below. Let's talk about how we can support each other, and please, share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might need it. Thank you so much for watching, and never forget, you are not alone, and your life is worth living.